Hi guys and welcome to this episode of GSK. We'll be talking about the most recent test match between England and India. England obviously winning it hugely convincingly.
9 innings.
Yeah. Geoffrey Boycott describing it as the worst India he's ever seen. Least amount of fights shown by a test side.
Yeah.
So Dom, tell us about Dhoni's 71 in the first innings.
Well, Dhoni has always been a run scorer, isn't he? He's absolutely brilliant with the bat. Because he's quite short, likes to play on the back foot, but also can get forward, drive, and yeah, he's just a really great batsman. He does lead that India team. It looks like he has to carry a lot on his shoulders because he's got quite an inexperienced side, I'd say now for India, with quite a few new people coming in, like the Singh and Jadeja, still quite new on the Test scene. So,
do you rate him as a keeper, Dom? Because he missed that terrible stumping on Butler.
Yeah, he did miss that terrible stumping. I think Dhoni's one of the best keepers in the world. I mean, Butler made a few mistakes as well. I think it happens to every cricketer at some point. I mean, even when we used to play, we'd make a mistake and drop a catch. We're just human, aren't we? I mean, you can't expect him to take everything, despite being one of the best wicketkeepers in the world.
Well, for me, I like Dhoni as a captain. I think he's a good leader, and I think, like I said, he's good with the bat. But as a keeper, I've never found him too convincing, really. Obviously, it's arguable. Like, India have been one of the best test sides for years, especially with him in the team for donkey's years as well. But there's no denying that he's a brilliant batsman. Alright, let's move on. So Broad got his sixth for.
Yeah,
got Dhoni out as well.
He got Dhoni out with that beautiful ball straight to Jordan at a slip. I mean, Broad's absolutely brilliant with the ball, isn't he? He's tall, he can get that pace and he gets the bounce straight off that wicket as well. The wicket wasn't giving much for the bowlers, which is why it turned to such a dream after England's first innings. Turned into actually a dream for the batsmen. I can't believe India crumbled how they did. But Broad just seems to get that bit extra. Doesn't get too much swing like Anderson does, but tall, gets in fast and hard, and I think that's where he gets his wickets.
Very sensible test bowler. Doesn't give away a lot of runs.
No, he's very economical, isn't he? Knows his line and length really well.
Yeah, so obviously he did brilliantly. And then moving on to England's innings then. You had your great partnership with Butler and Root.
Yeah,
Root getting 77, Butler
was 70, respectively. I mean, those two batted over 2 days and they looked really comfortable together. I mean, we know Butler is a great batsman from at county level anyway, really aggressive, but we also saw a good side of him. I mean, 250s in his two first innings for England in Test cricket. I mean, that's absolutely brilliant for Butler. It's going to give him so much confidence to turn into a Test batsman in the future.
Salvage a bit of pride for India in that innings. Kumar, 3 wickets, very economical.
Yeah, pick of the bowlers there for India, despite them not being absolutely great with the ball. I mean, England weren't too great with the bat, but they did enough, obviously, to win by an innings. Bell got 50 as well in that innings, so I think the lower order doing quite well there for England, despite, Robson at the top not doing so great, and also Cook got 30, 40, didn't he? So,
well, it's interesting, like, a lot of people recently saying the likes of Bell, Anderson, Cook, obviously Peterson's gone, Swan's gone, Trott's gone, but you look at that team and there's a lot of sort of people who, arguably people have said are finished, but they've definitely bounced back. Cook with a 95 in the previous Test match.
And Anderson with the ball, I mean, absolutely brilliant. He shows why he's absolutely brilliant Test bowler. He swings the ball about everywhere. He gets the reverse swing as well, which is an impossible task for you and I, but Anderson, I thought after the Ashes over in Australia, I thought he didn't look the same bowler at all. But he's come back against India and bowled absolutely brilliantly and shows why he's one of the best Test bowlers in the world. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. Ashwin.
Yeah, saving some pride, I think, for India with 46 not out at the end. But it was doom and gloom, wasn't it, for 9 wickets in that last session. I mean, absolutely crumbled. Moeen Ali getting 4 of those wickets shows he's an absolutely great bowler at the death.
But they only bowled 13 overs and got 4 wickets. I mean, for someone that people say is a part-time bowler, like, he's not a swan, is he? But how well he's doing with the ball at the moment. But
yeah, once that pitch roughened up and after it rained, that torrential, didn't it, stopped play, but came back onto that wicket and just kept digging, putting the ball in the slot, isn't he? Getting a bit of turn, getting over 2,000 RPM on that ball.
Yeah.
It's going to cause damage for India.
Talk about Anderson and
Jadeja.
for us a bit. Obviously, they had their little verbal battle. Both Dhoni and Cook, I thought, handled it quite well. Sort of Dhoni said, whatever the ruling is, they'll accept it either way. But quite amusingly, they got each other out.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to be going at each other. I mean, Anderson picked off Jadeja with an absolutely beautiful ball, and Anderson was out last man LBW from Jadeja, but I think that's been hyped up more in the press.
Yeah.
What is made out of it. I mean, they have a little verbal, but cricket's a competitive sport and they're professional sportsmen. They want to win for their test side.
Exactly.
And for their country, so I think the media hasn't helped that situation.
You've got to be careful when you're listening to the media about these sort of things. A little bit of verbal, I don't think, is too much of a bad thing. Obviously, cricket is similar to golf in that way. People see it as like quite a gentleman's sport. Good sportsmanship should be encouraged, but when people are going for it and their careers are on the line, for example, they want to be...
Exactly, and you find it in any sport. I mean, football's a bit lower class, so to say, than cricket, but I mean, footballers go for it. They're just professional sportsmen, aren't they? Once you get the adrenaline going, and it's got to be tiring playing 90 overs a day or whatever, and I think a little bit of chirps in, it's not anything to worry about too much for the ICC in that instance.
Finally, that horrible injury to Stuart Broad, like, we saw the ball come in, and obviously the Indians were very good. They sort of went straight over to Broad. Ball. For any of you that don't know, the ball sort of came towards him, and he's tried to knock the ball away, but just missed it, and it's just gone straight through his helmet. It's hit him in the nose.
Under his grill, isn't it?
Yeah.
Up, and he fractured his nose, so he didn't bowl in the second India batting innings.
But it actually went between the grill and the helmet, didn't it? It went right in there.
Oh, yeah, sorry. My mistake. But
horrible injury.
It could be playing with a face mask we hear in the 5th test at the Oval, which starts on Friday, I believe.
Well, yeah. To be honest, it'd be interesting to see how that test match goes is the last thing we cover, because India taking such a beating for a top-level test match, for you to not even need to bat your second innings, is just poor, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'd quite like to see Steve Finn come back into the squad though. He's in that side, unchanged, we know, for the next test, but hasn't featured. But imagine if he came back in. He's still young.
Well, who would you like to see drop then? Because unlikely to be. Maybe it might be an excuse to drop Broad. He's got this problem, obviously. Maybe, but if it wasn't to be Broad, if he was to play with the mask, like people are saying he will they drop Wokes? Will they drop Jordan?
I think. I'm not really sure. I mean, there's 4 seamers there, all bowl, good pace seam. But I think if one of them was to go, it'd be Wokes. But I can't see Finn coming in for anyone else other than Broad. I mean, Finn's an opening bowler. He's the same as Broad in the sense that he's tall, gets a lot of bounce, similar to Steve Harmison when he was in the prime. But Finn showed that inconsistency, which is why he came out of the team. But
it will be interesting to see who they drop, because for me, I'm not too much of a fan of Jordan. Really, he's quite erratic for a test bowler. Whereas Finn is sort of more accurate. He's going to be much more economical, and I'd quite like to see how Finn does, because people are saying he's back to his best, and he's a world-class cricketer. So
he's signed a new contract as well, so it's got to be a confidence boost getting called back into that England squad.
So we've got a lot to look forward to in the next week with the final test match coming up.
Yeah, England take a 2-1 lead into the final game, and we'll probably coverage that after it's done, I reckon.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching our cricket podcast this week. If you liked it, please give it a like and subscribe to us for more content. See you later.
Thanks for watching, guys.